I like that new intro card. I love that new intro card smell.
Oh my gosh, it looks phenomenal.
Looks great. Makes us feel worldly.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Welcome to episode 73 of the most must-see show to ever hit the Bedford TV airwaves, or any airwaves for that matter, the Wrestling Connection. I am your host, as always, your connection in wrestling world, Mr. Encyclopedia himself, Ken Hill. Alongside me is the dizzying Duke himself, the WK King of Pay-Per-View champion, Mr. J. Julian.
Ladies and gentlemen, King J has returned to the Wrestling Connection for episode 73, and I am so happy that we're getting lots more likes for the Wrestling Connection, and let's kick this show off.
All right, well, we kicked the show off with a little bit of controversy. Now, as you know, we had the WWE Battleground Pay-Per-Review. Of course, we had the WK King of Pay-Per-View contest between myself, Julian, Zach, Brian Dorian, our producers Brian and Greg. We did end with some controversy. It was a very tight race going into the main event with Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. And it did, of course, that match ended with some controversy itself, which we'll discuss later on in our pay-per-review
show.
But as it is, the match ended on a no contest, which meant that despite whether we predicted for Rollins or Lesnar, no one won. Now, since everyone else had 2 points and Julian had 3, that would have made Julian the winner. However, the following night on Raw, we had Seth Rollins come out because of a no contest, which means the champion retains his championship. Seth Rollins came out and had Lillian Garcia make the official announcement to the ending of the main event at WWE Battleground, which was that Brock Lesnar won via outside interference. Now, typically that would have... Now, since I predicted Lesnar would win, I didn't necessarily say he'd win the title, that would have given me a point tying you and I for the victory, and it would have come down to match time, since the match time was 13 minutes, and everyone was pretty much already over by a way lot, and I was closest with a match prediction time of 22 minutes. Technically speaking, that would have made me the winner. However, I mean, we go by the official results. There is some controversy. We go by the official results. All right, on the official WWE website for WWE Battlegrounds, it does list that the match did end in a no contest. Therefore, there was no winner, no points were awarded, and since Julian was leading going into the main event, Mr. J, Julian is still your WK King of Pay-Per-View champion. So congrats to you on that, Julian.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone who was a huge support for this prediction game. This is, I believe, going on to its 8th prediction game. I may be wrong.
Longer than that.
Oh my goodness, I'm just happy to be a part of the Wrestling Connection family, and this is my first official defense as champion, and I'm proud to make a first defense, but I'm also like to give a congratulations to Kenny, because as it stands for right now, he is going in strong looking for this belt, so I hope
for a 4th time.
For a 4th time, and I'm proud of him for that. So, SummerSlam, Kenny, I grant you that rematch, man.
May the best man win.
May the best man win.
Now, again, like I said, there was some controversy in the main event, but WWE Battleground had its high shares of highs and lows.
Yes, it did.
Okay, we kick things off with the kickoff match.
Yes.
King Barrett versus King What's Up, with Barrett's actual King of the Ring crown on the line. Now, I mean, I admit I like the chemistry. These two had a good chemistry going in. They faced each other on and off for the last few months, trading victories. But the thing is, okay, seriously, the moment that I knew that I heard the crown was on the line, we knew Barrett was retaining here. Because, seriously, if they took away the crown from Barrett, what else does the guy have? I mean, because seriously, they've had him lose to a guy in R-Truth
Yes.
who Barrett beat to get to the King of the Ring finals. So having Truth upend Barrett would just like make all of that, make the return of the King of the Ring absolutely pointless.
And note fact, you're talking about a guy, former, the first ever NXT winner.
I mean, former what, 5-time Intercontinental Champion.
Leader of the Nexus, and you're talking about a guy who is going into
who's been pushed and stopped time and again. I mean, the Bad News Barrett gimmick was going somewhere. Now they suddenly saddle him with the King of the Ring, which we know doesn't really work out for most King of the Rings. King Sheamus, for example.
Yes.
And so, I mean, the thing is, okay, it's great. Barrett gets to win here, retains his title as King of the Ring, but this has to lead somewhere. But knowing WWE, probably won't.
And the question remains, is it truly a curse for those who recently win such a high prestigious title, i.e. the King of the Ring?
Or the Intercontinental title. As we found out with Ryback, when Ryback unfortunately suffered a staph infection, he had to be written out of the WWE Battleground Pay-Per-Review. I'm loving this. I'm loving the sound effects here, guy. I'm loving it.
It sounds like you guys are trying to play some music. What's up with that?
Yeah, emphasis on the word trying. Yeah, okay. Ryback unfortunately was written out of his match for the Intercontinental title, which left Miz and Big Show on the outside looking in as far as a title opportunity. Miz would come out, try to parlay this into being awarded the title since Ryback was not fit to compete, and started riding on Big Show about how he should just walk off in the sunset and retire, bringing out the Giant. Miz would try to backtrack verbally, but would receive a quick KO from the Big Show for his
Take it away, Kenny! Quick KO punch!
Yeah. Didn't end well for Miz.
So pretty much, Miz, you keep on talking trash, you get a fist to the face.
Well, yeah, not just from Big Show.
But from everyone else.
Yeah, from everyone with a brain. Okay, so that brings us to our our first official title match of the evening, which was the Tag Team Championships, pitting the new champions, Prime Time Players versus New Day Sucks. Yeah. Okay, so we had the Primetime Players defending against the New Day. Now, I mean, we thought we were going to see a new edge to the New Day here. That we thought, okay, we're going to see them like develop a new, darker side, a new heel tactic where instead of clapping, they snap. We didn't really see that right here, and I mean, Primetime Players show they had a way to overcome and like undermine the New Day's numbers advantage.
I was honestly hoping that Mark Henry, the Primetime Players' newest ally, would be in the corner just to even out the odds, just in case Xavier Woods would be up to his antics as always. I mean,
yeah, he was up to his antics, but it was all for naught because eventually the Primetime Players did manage to fight up the New Day. Titus hitting Big E with the Clash of the Titus to retain their tag team titles. Now, it seems like, okay, they're going to keep the feud going on into SummerSlam, except in this case, the New Day are undermining the Primetime Players' efforts to win matches against other teams. We saw how they interfered in the PTP's match with the Los Matadors on this past week on Raw, costing them a victory there. We've seen them interfere again on SmackDown. We could see, the way this is going, we could be seeing maybe a triple threat or even a fatal four-way tag team match going into SummerSlam involving the Primetime Players, involving New Day, Los Matadors, and possibly even the Ascension. Because really, they're the only other solid tag team we have on the cards right now. Of course, Tyson Kidd on the injured list, Jimmy Uso's on
the recovery list.
On the recovery list, Eric Rowan of the slowly reuniting Wyatt family. He's out for the rest of the year with a bicep injury. So the tag team situation's really flagging right here. So really, right now, you would have 4 solid tag teams in the division. I mean, it would be best to put them all on Showcase at the biggest party of the summer.
Yes, and as you know, the tag team division, it may be on fire, but due to injuries, we're starting to see the tag team division really slowing down.
Really start to cinder here. I mean, it's not ashes yet.
Yes.
But
then again, not all great things last forever.
Exactly. All right. So now we come to another interesting match, a real grudge match here with Sheamus versus Randy Orton. Sheamus put Orton out of action a few weeks ago. Orton recently made his return. These two have had a boiling rivalry for the past couple of months, and really reached a head right here because Orton's admitted that in all the people that he's faced throughout the years, there's no one who's quite gotten under his skin like Sheamus has. There's just something about Sheamus that just irks him, something about Sheamus that just wants him to make him rip that stupid mohawk off, in Orton's words. And Sheamus has more or less been on a roll since his Money in the Bank victory. I mean, he's gotten victories over Roman Reigns. He's gotten victories over Neville. So, I mean, Sheamus has been on a roll here, and these two collided at Battlegrounds. Now, typically in years past, we haven't all been excited about Sheamus and Orton because their styles are too similar, okay? They mesh well enough, but the problem is they never develop a proper chemistry, like a good in-ring psychology. And the problem is it just sort of tends to repeat itself after a while. It becomes bland. It becomes repetitive.
Pretty much boring.
Uninteresting. But here we had a change in dynamics. Orton was coming in as the beloved anti-hero face, where Sheamus was playing the heel. Sort of a role reversal of what they've done in the last couple of years. And I think that sort of helped freshen it up a bit. It was a good opening brawl. I mean, it had its moments. But then down near the end, it got repetitive. And I mean, unsurprising. I mean, Sheamus hits the bro kick. Orton rolls to the outside. Sheamus tries to get in an extra lick or two, and then Orton just comes out of nowhere with the RKO, which I mean,
when you least expect it, quote unquote.
Well, when it's least expected, when you're expecting the least expected, I mean, really. I mean, Orton gets the win, and it kind of begs the question here. I mean, with Orton coming on top in their first real match in the feud, where does this lead on? I mean, are we getting a rematch at SummerSlam? Are these two moving on to different feuds now? I mean, what are we looking at here?
And we gotta also throw in a monkey wrench into the whole plans leading up to what's next for Sheamus.
For Sheamus, because I mean, really, when you see the Mr. Money in the Bank going on a slide, like we saw with Seth Rollins, like we saw with Damian Sandow, and even once upon a time with CM Punk when he held Money in the Bank, he was on something, a losing streak, as well as Daniel Bryan when he held Money in the Bank. Really, when we've seen this, it kind of hints at the fact that we're going to expect a cash-in soon. So where we thought that Sheamus wasn't going to cash in until much later, maybe he's going to cash in sooner than we thought. We could see as soon as SummerSlam or Hell in a Cell at Survivor Series. Sometime maybe before the end of 2015, we're going to see a cash-in from the former fella.
Yes, because we also got to think, because now we got a main event announced for SummerSlam, which we'll get to much later on. We got to think with this right here, the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Right.
When is Sheamus going to cash in? Because the current champion, Seth Rollins, doesn't have an opponent.
For SummerSlam, which we'll get onto a little later.
Yes.
But he doesn't have an opponent, which begs the question. Could we see Sheamus decide, okay, I'm not going to try and cash in you when the time is right. I'm going to cash in on you at SummerSlam.
And I would ask the question, would this be the first time a bad guy actually cashes in on another bad guy? And it would be a role reversal.
Well, it wouldn't be the first, because don't forget, 2010, we saw Jack Swagger cash in on a vulnerable Chris Jericho and win the World Championship. So it wouldn't be the first time that a heel has cashed in on another heel. But anyway, more on that later. Okay, we come to what was an interesting match. You see, with the Intercontinental title match written out of the pay-per-view, they needed time to fill. So we actually got a nice little bonus in a triple threat Divas match.
Divas Revolution, here we go!
Guys, Jesus, don't scare me like that.
Just because he's the leader of the Stronghold doesn't mean that he doesn't have feelings, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, or a working heart.
Yes. We both got working jobs, people. This is our second job. Clear, he's back in.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you guys for the background music, but back to action.
Yeah, back to action. Oh, wait. Okay, we had a triple threat divas match featuring. Okay, guys. All right. Okay, we had featuring the Nature Boy's daughter, Charlotte.
Or
Okay,
who we
guys.
could call the Nature Girl.
Come on. Oh, okay. Let's not go that far. A little derivative right there. But yeah, we had Charlotte, we had Brie Bella, and the NXT Women's Champion Sasha Banks, or the Boss.
The Boss.
Not that boss. We can't say that boss. Or else you're fired.
Fired.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh, and for many who do not know, Sasha Banks is the real life cousin of famous hip hop legend Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, fun little fact right there, for all you music lovers. Speaking of which, hi Angie. Okay, so anyway, this was we saw. Okay, now even though I'm not a big fan of how the whole revolution started, thank you Stephanie. All right, I like what we saw here. I liked how immediately the quality of women's wrestling in WWE improved with Charlotte and Sasha being brought up to the roster along with Paige and Becky Lynch. We immediately saw an improvement right here because it was much more well put together. The match flowed a lot more. We actually saw some great wrestling on a Brie Bella, who I admit the Bellas can put on a good match when they're asked to, when they're motivated. We've seen that out of Nikki Bella, and we also saw it here out of Brie Bella. So again, this was a very entertaining bout, which I liked. I mean, I especially like the ending right here, where Charlotte was trapped in the bank statement submission by Sasha. Brie broke it up, only for Charlotte to counter out and lock in the figure 8 leg lock on Brie, picking up a huge win and moving forward the revolution in the Divas division.
And if people who do not know, the figure 8 is Ric Flair's typical figure 4 leg lock, but with a bridge.
With a twist.
Yes.
With a twist.
With a twist, people.
Okay. So yeah. So Charlotte picking up a big win for her, Becky Lynch, and Paige for Team Paige over Team BAD, Beautiful and Dangerous, and over Team Bella. A huge win and showing that Team Bella is fallible.
Yes, they can be defeated.
Now, if Nikki Bella could just be dethroned for the Divas title, we can all sleep better at night.
Which I have to say something about that. One thing I noticed about Nikki Bella's memorable reign as Divas champion is the fact that I'm starting to see a little streak that WWE's been doing. The first time someone had a long reign like that was with the Honky Tonk Man as Intercontinental Champion. Then you go on, you fast forward to most recently CM Punk with his second reign as WWE Champion, beating 434 days, the 6th longest WWE Champion of the modern era.
Right.
Then you go on to Nikki Bella, who's getting closer.
You're going to AJ Lee, who currently has the longest reigning Divas Championship reign,
surpassing Maurice Mizanin.
Maurice Mizanin, and now Nikki is closing in on that, only off by about a month and some change. So,
and one more person, JBL, with the WWE Championship.
The longest reigning WWE champion on SmackDown. We understand that. Okay, getting back to the point.
Yes.
Okay, Nikki is quickly closing in on AJ's record. Now, depending on whether they actually decide to have Nikki defend her title at a pay-per-view.
Finally.
Hint.
WWE, give Divas a chance.
Now we could see Nikki just closing on that just to fall short. Or ultimately, AJ's record does go by the wayside, and Nikki becomes the longest reigning Divas champion in history, effectively erasing the last of CM Punk's supposed legacy from WWE in AJ Lee's reign going up in smoke, concerning their marriage and all.
Yes,
All
which
right.
would kind of not be fair because there's lots of people who deserve to be champion rather than just keep it on one person until they figure out who they want next to be champion. That's kind of unfair. But
We have seen that at times where they'll put the title on someone or a pair of someone's and not know what to do with them. I mean, if you want a long time example, we go all the way back to 2006, 2007 with the tag team title reign Brian Kendrick and Paul London, the reason their tag team title reign went so long was, okay, they didn't know what to do with them. They ran out of challengers for the two, so they kept having to put together new tag teams, bringing up new tag teams from developmental just to give these guys some competition.
And then finally, you put the belt on Tamina's brother, Deuce and Domino.
Okay, even though they're a team that the duo already defeated, but that's we're getting a little off track here.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the next match here. We had Kevin Owens versus John Cena in the Ultimate Rubber match for the United States Championship. Now, of course, we all know Owens made his official WWE debut at Elimination Chamber,
yes,
picking up a huge win over John Cena in his very first match at WWE. Cena would get one back at Money in the Bank, and of course, WWE Battlegrounds. We had the rubber match. We know we were going to go all out, and you know what? They did. They brought back every big spot from both matches. They changed it up. A little. We saw plenty of reversals. We saw plenty of big jaw-dropping moments. And I liked the psychology here. Okay, I like the psychology that Owens here was relentless. He was not going to go away until he got the United States Championship. And Cena was showing more, and we saw this in his feud with Owens. Okay, Cena showed more and more frustration with being unable to put Owens away with moves that typically would put down anyone else. The springboard stunner, Owens kicks out. AA, Owens kicks out. The STF, Owens doesn't tap out here. Okay, and we saw the same in this match. At one point near the end of the match, Cena hit a huge second rope attitude adjustment on Owens, and somehow Owens just manages to get the shoulder up, and you can see the look of shock on Cena's face, like he was dumbfounded. He had no idea how Owens. Yeah, exactly. That's the look right there. Okay, he had no idea how Owens could have kicked out, and I'm not a big fan of the commentary with Cole, JBL, and King, but Michael Cole brought up a great point here that I want to elaborate on, that Cena hadn't shown this kind of frustration and shock since he faced The Rock at WrestleMania 28 in Tampa, Florida. Okay, that was a great point. The fact that you're putting Owens on the same level as the epic Cena-Rock feud speaks volumes for the impact Owens has made in the last few months in World Wrestling Entertainment. Now, I liked about the match. What I didn't like was the ending. Okay, even after all that, I mean, Owens was pretty much limping on the match. Only Cena locks in the STF. Now, and unfortunately, Owens taps out, and Cena retains the championship. Okay, that I don't have as much a problem with, even though, frankly, the way they were building up with Owens losing the NXT title and making the official move up to Monday Night Raw, you were expecting that Owens would come away with the championship here, only to fall just short. That I don't have so much a problem with. What I had, in fact, was that Owens just tapped out. Okay, if it's something had come along the lines of maybe Owens just simply just fainted away from the pain, if he passed out a la Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart's Sharpshooter, then that was something I could have bought more. And Owens could argue that, okay, Cena never actually made me tap out. I still have a right to that championship.
Yes.
And until he makes me tap out, Cena will never truly be the better man. Something along those lines. Hint, hint, WWE creative writers. But major
yes,
hint,
very
hint.
much a hint.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, okay, I liked the match itself. I thought it was a great match. 4.5 stars. Match of the night. But again, I did not like the way it ended. It didn't do any favors for Owens. Although I like how they're seemingly transitioned to Owens feuding with Cesaro, who's been on a major role with his star-making matches against John Cena, against Owens, and even picking up a big win over Rusev, who, aside from Cena, is not easily pinned. So, I mean, Cesaro's been making a name for himself since his partner Tyson Kidd went on the injured list, and it seems like we're building towards an Owens-Cesaro feud that may even involve Cena for the U.S. title. May be a good way for...
We're just doing a mic test.
Testing, get out of my face.
Testing.
You
Yes.
get that?
Yeah, I think they got...
We're sorry for the partial interruption. People, please stand by.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, okay. Now Now, like I said, we could be seeing Owens, Cesaro, Cena at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. That could be a good way for either Cesaro to come in with one of the biggest wins of his career, winning the U.S. title, or it could be a way for them to shunt the title onto Owens without actually having to beat Cena, which is really what WWE wants. Because, God forbid, their moneymaker gets pinned at SummerSlam.
Yes, the biggest attraction for WWE right now
Is John Cena, okay, who I admit is having one of his best years, okay? He's had remarkable matches with quality opposition. I mean, with Ambrose, with Stardust, with Cesaro, with Owens, Bad News Barrett. He has faced all comers and has brought a lot of prestige back to the United States Championship, which I'm happy about.
So I have to give this one thank you. Brock Lesnar, you may have sent John Cena, made John Cena the first participant for Suplex City and sent him back to the mid-card, but that was a blessing in disguise because John Cena has not only won his 4th United States Championship finally, but he also brought back prestige to it and not just made it just another title that people would fight for. Just win it, then hit it back.
They've made it the title to aspire for.
Yes.
Now speaking of that, we come to the main event.
Dun, 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 dun,
Speaking
dun, dun,
of the
dun,
Beast, we have Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And just the way this went, just from the get-go, you knew it was going to be ugly, okay? Because in a straight-up match, we knew Rollins isn't a match for Lesnar. It just from the beginning, it was suplex after suplex.
Suplex?
After suplex.
After suplex.
After suplex. Okay, not the one I was looking for, but okay.
Including a suicide dive.
Okay, no, we had Rollins put up a good fight. Rollins did put up a good fight at times. Okay, he did try to take the fight to Lesnar, try to take him off his feet, take to the air and try to bring down Lesnar. But ultimately, it just was not enough, and it seemed like at times.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Okay, yeah, there we go. It seemed like at moments. Okay, it seemed like at moments where, I mean, Lesnar had hit the F5, closing in on his second WWE World Heavyweight Championship, only for dong,
Ding.
dong,
Dong. Whoa, wait a minute.
Whoa, okay, what's going on here?
Oh, look, it's the Brothers of Destruction 2.0.
Oh, please. Yeah. No, the Brothers of Obstruction.
Yes.
Brothers of Obstruction right there. Okay, moving.
The Brothers of No Talent.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, guys, I just have to rag on you. Y'all knew.
Yeah, the Master Salty Mr. J. Okay.
The soul of the stronghold.
Okay. Now, like I said, The Undertaker made his return at WWE Battleground. A huge thing. The match would end up being declared a no contest. Thereby, Seth Rollins would retain his championship. But that wasn't the story here. Undertaker chokeslammed Lesnar and tombstoned him not once, but twice, leaving the Beast laid out. And the following night on Raw, things got ugly.
Yes, it did.
We're talking like a pure 6 brawl. Lesnar and Undertaker beat on each other in the ring, outside the ring, backstage, all over the arena, and it took security got demolished. It took literally every able-bodied superstar to pull these two apart, and even then it wasn't enough, because you had these two escaping, jumping all over each other, and trying to pound the bejesus out of each other. And now we find out that Undertaker, after 4+ days of waiting, has come for his revenge against Lesnar, and we're going to get it at SummerSlam 2015 as the main event. Now, that's all well and good. It's a big-time money match. Most times, I'd be excited to see this if it wasn't for the fact that I've seen Undertaker's last 2 matches. I'm talking about WrestleMania 31 versus Bray Wyatt. I'm talking about WrestleMania 30 versus Lesnar, where the streak was ended. Taker has been a shambling physical mess. Okay, we saw frankly, last two have been two of the worst WrestleMania matches that Undertaker has wrestled. I'm even likening them to when he faced off against Giant Gonzalez at WrestleMania 7. That was ugly. These last two matches have been even uglier because, okay, Undertaker has been limping. Despite evidence, despite online news stating so, he has not looked in good physical condition. He looks like he's in pain every time he takes a step. Okay.
Safe to say age has caught up with him.
Okay, because the bottom line is, Lesnar was going into this undefeated since Extreme Rules 2013. Hadn't been pinned, hadn't been submitted. Okay, they couldn't. I mean, if they had Taker come out, if they had him be on the outside looking in, Lesnar looking on in shock, Rollins picks up some sort of fluky victory with a roll-up or surprising Lesnar somehow with a pedigree and picking up the surprise win. Okay, that would have worked. That would have worked just fine for me. Lesnar can say, okay, he lost on a fluke because of Undertaker. Rollins can say he actually picked up a big semi-clean win over Brock Lesnar. Everyone would be happy. Instead, what happens? Rollins looks like even more of a cowardly
chicken who got away.
Chicken crap heel.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't do Lesnar any favors because, okay, it was probably one of the worst excuses to take him out of here. And it makes, on top of that, it makes Vince and the WWE look incredibly desperate to find a main event when he already got a main event in Rollins, in Reigns, in Bray Wyatt, in Brock Lesnar, and instead you're trying to put the Undertaker out there who hasn't been in good physical condition in 2 years.
So pretty much Undertaker right now is a lame duck. He's just riding the rest of his time out until they finally announce he's inducted to the Hall of Fame. Then he can hang up his hat and boots and say, okay, I'm good, I'm done.
Okay, I get it. Okay, next year WrestleMania 32 is going to be in Houston, Texas. It's going to be in Undertaker's home state. So I understand they want to have a farewell match for him then. Okay, that's then. Okay, there's a reason Taker hasn't been on any other pay-per-view aside from WrestleMania. Okay, he's not in good physical condition. I can't see this match going any better for Undertaker than at WrestleMania 30.
And we're talking the only guy in Taker's career he hasn't never had a pinfall or submission victory over at all. We're talking Brock Lesnar. Has Brock Lesnar literally got upside in his head to the point that Undertaker must beat him before he retires? Or is the one guy who has defeated him every time he came face-to-face with him is going to end his career?
Exactly. Is that what it's going to take? That Lesnar will literally have to put the Undertaker out of his misery. We're going to find out. Okay, because these two, it seems like on air, legitimately hate each other and want to destroy each other. You heard that much on this past Monday night on Raw. I mean, now the other side of that coin, we have Seth Rollins. We don't know who Rollins is going to be facing. There's no clear-cut opponent for Rollins. I mean, we don't know if it could be a returning Kane. We don't know if it could be Triple H. We don't know if they could just restart things with Dean Ambrose, with Roman Reigns. We don't know who Seth Rollins' opponent is going to be for SummerSlam. I mean, thankfully we have 4 more weeks until SummerSlam, so in that time a proper opponent can be found.
Yes.
But the fact is, with Undertaker interfering, ending this whole thing between Lesnar and Rollins for the time being, it leaves like a big gaping plot hole here. Who's going to face Rollins at SummerSlam? And hopefully within the next week or so, we'll find that out.
Yes, we will.
All right. So in the meantime, folks, that is all for episode 73 of the Wrestling Connection. If you have any comments or questions about the show, you can reach us over at Wrestling Connection.
We have a musical guest to play you out. He needs like 5 minutes to prepare. Can you stall? Talk about the Reigns-Wyatt match. I think you forgot about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Admittedly, we did forget about the Reigns-Wyatt match. I apologize for that, folks. Okay, now, I mean, we had another personal grudge match. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. This really was a first for Reigns, as he was going into a match with an opponent who loves to play mind games with everyone, who loves to undermine them mentally and emotionally. Very cute, Brian.
Do you know who that is?
Ken Hill, Montreal Expos. Trust me,
Expos are gone.
I'm one of many people who looked his name up on the internet. I pretty much know that. Ken Hill, the basketball player. Ken Hill, the Montreal Expo. Ken Hill, the guitar maker.
Ken Hill, the professional wrestler.
Oh no.
Do you Google your own name a lot?
Occasionally.
We Googled it. You don't pop up in the images.
Oh, ouch, ouch, ooh, 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 ouch.
I didn't mean to insult you.
Feelings hurt.
I need a moment. I need a moment.
Cover my face.
Okay. Moving on. All right. I mean, okay, we had, I mean, like I said, Reigns was going into this not 100% emotionally and mentally because Wyatt used things such as Reigns' relationship with his daughter.
Yes.
And essentially the fact that he had no other friends really in WWE aside from Dean Ambrose. Okay, he capitalized on his friendless background, on his relationship with his daughter, really to get inside Reigns' head. And it seemed like that for the longest time between Money in the Bank and Battleground, Wyatt was in Reigns' head. He would distract him with duplicates, with like stalkerish shrines saying, anyone but you, Roman. And explain that the reason that Roman did not deserve to be in his spot was because Wyatt felt like Roman stole Wyatt's spot, his opportunity to ascend to a higher plane, that being Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yes.
Now, I mean, because I, unlike most, actually make an effort to try and decipher Wyatt's seemingly rambling promos. Trust me, it's
Ultimately confusing.
Yeah. It takes a lot of effort.
Whoa, wait a minute. Someone stole my name. Hold my belt for me.
Yeah.
This just got personal. Who stole my name?
Yeah, it looks like a photo
I
negative.
don't know. He's on Sky Sports Network. I think it's Julian Warren.
Yeah, that's.
I look nothing like that. Soon, people.
Yeah,
soon.
looks like
Just give me
Why
time.
did you steal the guy's name?
I didn't steal the name.
Okay, can we? Yeah, okay. Can we? All right. Okay. Move. Okay, so we get to the match itself. Okay. And this was a hard-hitting match. And unlike someone else who said that this would be an absolute snooze,
It was a good match. I liked it.
It was a good match. I'm not saying it was the match of the night, but it was a much better match than a lot of people would give him credit for, harkening back to the days of the Shield and the Wyatt family. We saw
Leader versus leader.
We saw Reigns go back to his roots a little bit here as the silent killer, as a silent
Predator.
seek and destroy type predator, and really go after Wyatt here. This was a brawl from the get-go. There were no lockups. There were no arm drags. This was just a straight up smash mouth type match, as you see right here with Wyatt doing a nice little counter of Reigns' midair dropkick into a vicious clothesline. This was hard hitting from the word go. That's what I liked about this match. Okay, if you have a personal grudge match, there's no lockups here. You just beat the bejesus out of each other.
It's like just let them fight, just like the fans say. Let them fight. Let them fight.
And they fought. Now it seemed like that Roman Reigns was closing in at times. Wyatt grew increasingly desperate for a victory, and it seemed like he was going for the steel chairs. He was after hitting Roman Reigns with a brutal Uranagi onto the ringside barricade. It seemed like he was getting desperate. Roman Reigns would cut him off before he could use the steel chairs. It seemed like he was ready to inflict some payback of his own.
But wait!
Out of nowhere comes the returning Luke Harper. Out of nowhere, laying out Reigns with a super kick, allowing Wyatt to hit the Sister Abigail and pick up a win over Reigns.
But you see that vest though? He's sporting the Wyatt family symbol.
The Wyatt family symbol, which means that the Wyatt family is slowly, piece by piece, coming back together. And that means bad news from pretty much the rest of the WWE, with Bray Wyatt and his family coming back together.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the awesome hat of Mr. Kennection.
Okay, now what this means? Yes, those are my size 14 and a half W shoes.
Ladies, look at those shoes. Look at them. Look at them shoes. Get close about them. Looking mad nice. When you're the Encyclopedia, you get to sport nice shoes like those. And check these out right here. Size 11 sneakers right here. These are the shoes of the champ. The soul of the stronghold.
Okay. Moving on from our shoes. Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
Thank you for that lovely image of our shoes.
Nice tattoo, by the way.
Okay, so now what this means is obviously the Wyatt-Reigns feud continues. Now this time, though, we have Ambrose and Harper mixed up into it, which means we could be looking towards a tag team rematch at SummerSlam, possibly with Reigns and Ambrose going up against Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. Now,
But wait, there is one rumor that is going around.
That Sting will be making his return at SummerSlam to the WWE, and we could possibly see that Ambrose at some point get taken out of the picture, and Sting will be inserted as Reigns' tag team partner. Now, again, this is an internet rumor. We all know about the dirt sheets.
And
take it with a grain of salt.
Yes, please.
A big old grain of salt.
Also, there might be rumors that WWE is definitely going to push towards a Shield reunion to combat the Wyatt family. And if they do, I will be very happy because the Shield does better together rather than separately.
Yeah, the Shield, well, okay, I mean, I wouldn't say that much because Rollins, I mean, come on, he's WWE World Champion.
Yes.
And he's had great feuds with both Reigns and Ambrose, who have more than held their own in the singles division. So let's not get ahead of ourselves for a Shield reunion. I would love that more than anything. But let's just, this is one of those times we have to wait and see.
Yes.
So again, wait and see if
and take it with a grain of salt, people.
Wait and see if Sting will be making a return. Wait and see if we will see Reigns and Ambrose or Reigns and Sting versus the reunited Wyatt family.
Yes.
Now, okay. We need more time? Okay. All right. So, I mean, one superstar, like I said, who's really been on the rise has been Cesaro. Again, like I said, he's been having big since his partner Tyson Kidd went in the injury. Yes. This is like a little unofficial superstar highlight for Cesaro. Since his partner Tyson Kidd has gone on the injured list, we wish Tyson the best recovery possible.
Get well soon, Tyson.
Can't wait to see you again. All right. In the meantime, Cesaro really made a name for himself, reinvigorated himself in the singles division. The Swiss Superman, tangling with the likes of John Cena twice for the United States title, coming within inches both times of getting a big victory. I mean, he's taken on Owens. He's gotten a win over Rusev. Again, the only other person to pin Rusev is John Cena. So that really puts Cesaro on a high level of the singles division and really makes him a front runner for the United States Championship. Okay, so Cesaro's kept his name in the mix, more or less. And that's what I like. Okay, I think WWE is finally taking notice of the fact that Cesaro's got it all. He's got mic skills. His in-ring acumen is beyond measure, and obviously his physical attributes are almost second to none. Arguably the strongest man in WWE. So I mean, frankly, if we do see a triple threat, whether we just see Cesaro versus Owens at SummerSlam, or Cesaro versus Owens versus Cena, I would love to see Cesaro get a win on the big stage at SummerSlam, because it would mean that Cesaro has truly arrived in WWE, and that they're ready to push this guy to the moon.
Yes.
All right. So Jay, what do you feel is your take on since Tyson's gone on the injured list?
Since Tyson been gone on the injured list, just to let everyone know, he got injured by Samoa Joe's Muscle Buster. Tyson get well soon. I'd like to think that the guy who was formerly known as Antonio, Cesaro, is literally like picking up where he left off from, all the way back from WrestleMania 31, winning another huge accolade.
Well, actually, at WrestleMania 30, that was the Andre the Giant,
Yes.
when he was still a member of the Real Americans.
Yes.
I mean, really, since that time, okay, I mean, he's been managed by Steph Coulter, by Paul Heyman, ended up flagging for a while in the singles division. Then
And also managed by Oksana.
Oksana. Well, that was even before the Battle Royal, okay? So
Yes.
we're going a little back a little too far.
Yes.
I'm talking about like recently, in the last couple of years. Okay, he's been managed by Steph Coulter, by Paul Heyman. I mean, and okay, he's back in the singles division. Found a interesting, entertaining, with Tyson Kidd that led to a 2-month reign as tag team champion, upending the Usos, and even managed to retain other words, Cesaro's stock has slowly been rising again since the beginning of 2015. Now, like I said, whether this means that WWE is willing to fully invest in him, I don't know. Because they've pushed and pulled the plug on Cesaro a few times already, much like with Barrett. So it begs the question whether WWE is truly fully invested in Cesaro this time around.
I really hope so, and I'm really proud of the future that Cesaro got going for him.
Yes, just they do. I was
Okay.
I hear them. No,
Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have some musical accompaniment to play us out this fine evening with our good friend Penn from here in Bedford TV. Penn, welcome to the show.
We're glad to have you as a musical guest.
And of course, we have the Brothers of Obstruction on the player piano.
Our new recruits for the production team, which we're real glad to have.
Right. All right. So like I said. Now that is all for episode 73 of the Wrestling Connection. If you'd like to email us, ask any questions or ideas for the show, make sure to email us at wrestlingconnection@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on our official Facebook page, facebook.com/wrestlingconnection. You can also check out our official YouTube channel, The Wrestling Connection, where you can catch all of our present and past episodes, including our 1-year anniversary special.
1 year.
Exactly. And you can also hit us up on @WConnection, our official Twitter page,
Yes.
where we'll answer any and all questions and comments you have about the show, Mr. J, myself, or erstwhile co-host, Mr. Magwolf himself, Zach Martinkus. Now, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on the road to the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. We'll come back to you next week where hopefully we find out more about Seth Rollins and his opposition for SummerSlam. In the
Well,
meantime,
5 weeks away, guys. SummerSlam, here we go.
SummerSlam, here we come. And as always, be connected, get connected, stay connected. You have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Kate J, and we are signing off.
That's still in here.